Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Millfield School. We're live here for the under-18s at School Championship. Millfield School taking on Tonbridge School at 4:45. The kick-off here this afternoon, and it's been a lovely afternoon here in Somerset. The sun's just starting to go behind the evening clouds, and the temperature noticeably dropping in the last half an hour or so. One of 8 fixtures taking place in this under-18 School Champions Trophy. Oakham School taking on Bradford Grammar School, Reading Bluecoat School taking on Barnard Castle School, Guildford are away at Eastbourne College, Woodhouse at Grove School taking on Eton College, Grammar School at Leeds with Bedford School as opposition. Of course, Millfield and Tonbridge, the live game here for your viewing pleasure. Harbour College and Eltham College, and the bottom fixture still to be decided, Epsom College versus Colston's or Blundell's School. That's the round that we're at here in the under-18s at School Champions Trophy. One game has been played apiece, and Plymouth College couldn't put a team out, so technically Millfield given a bye into this round to face Tonbridge Wells. Talking of the teams, and we'll bring my co-commentator Dave Rogers in as we go through this. Talk us through the lineup then, Dave.
Well, Millfield School lining up in the forwards. We've got Nick Isbister, Aston Lester and Henry Peck making up the front row. Benjamin Dixon, Rory Mitchell in the second row. And the all-important back row, we've got Josh Bayliss, Xander Reid, and the captain at number 8, Bailey Ransom. In the backs, we've got Cameron Brown, Darren Atkins at 10, Oliver Buck on the left wing, Adam Hastings and Henry Carling Parkinson in the centres. Making up the back three, we've got Hadley Tucker, and then at full back, Harry Close. And the coach is Bath legend John Mallett.
We'll talk more about John Mallett throughout the afternoon, I'm sure. Dave, plenty of memories of watching John Mallett during his career. Tonbridge School then, Dave. Fred Johnson, Theo Buffini and Will Bell, 1 to 3.
Yeah, in the front row, making up the second row, we've got Rupert Loveland, Joseph Froud. The back row, 6, 7, 8 of Alex Dainton, should I say. Rory McMeekin, the captain, at open side flanker, and Ben Earl at number 8 in the backs. The half-back pairing of Mike Scott and Bart Forster. David Ballingle on the left wing, Harry Leake and Johnny Hampson are the centres. Felix Sara-Weaver on the right wing, Elliot Webb is their fullback, and James Lowes is the coach.
Now, we were discussing Tonbridge's team before they arrived here at the ground, and it's something to point out to you guys at home watching this wonderful live stream event that Tonbridge Wells have got themselves a new tradition, haven't they, Dave?
Yeah.
I don't know when a new tradition becomes a tradition, but that's what they've just decided to call it, and explain that a little bit. And it kind of affects our commentating viewing. We'll we'll come back to that in a second. Here, the replacements on the screen: Oliver Dorr-Lane, Josh Barton, Alex Charks, Cian Kennedy, and Harry Feiger for Millfield School. Tonbridge School have George Salter, James Gibson, Ollie Hayes, Harry Tyler, and Angus Horn. The team's just starting to make their way out in a couple of seconds. Yeah, let's go back to our visitors. Tonbridge School have got themselves a new tradition. Their coach was up here explaining, James Lowes.
Well, he calls it a philosophy. And as a rugby philosophy, I think it's fantastic. But for us in the commentary box and the people watching at home, we might find it interesting because Tonbridge School don't have any numbers on their white and black hooped jerseys. Now, the theory behind it is that players shouldn't be institutionalised. If you put a number on their back, then all of a sudden a prop forward just scrummages, a second rower just lineouts. But their theory is that players with no numbers on their back, they're coached exactly the same. They can all pass, they can all kick, they can all tackle.
Well, the two teams heading out. Tonbridge came out first. They're already in a circle in their own half, giving each other their pep talk. But out come the home team. There's quite a crowd have gathered on the gantry where we are doing our commentary from. The home team, Millfield School, green, red and blue hoops around their tops, white shorts and blue socks, 2 tones of socks within the Millfield School lineup. The lighter of those indicating players that have got their school colours. As for Tonbridge School, a little bit barbarianish, Dave.
Yes, indeed. We've got the black and white hoops, black shorts, and the barbarian black and white hooped socks as well. The referee today, Anthony Woodthorpe, he's in a yellow jersey, black shorts, and he'll be getting us underway shortly.
Yellow, black for the referee. Assistants Brian Perry and Nick Heath either side. It's going to be Millfield to get us underway. 35 minutes either way here in this brand new competition, the Under-18 School Champions Trophy. Millfield going from left to right as you look at it on your screens, and they pick up possession and burst forward on that far side. Plenty of support. You might be able to hear them. We certainly can.
Interesting start there. Tonbridge School happy to let the ball bounce, lucky to get away with it there as it did burst to the left winger for Millfield. But first line of the match, let's see how we get on.
So again, Tonbridge getting rid of their numbers, and not only that, the sunshine bursts through the clouds as well here. The Gareth Edwards pitch here at Millfield School, the 70s Wales legend, long affiliation with Millfield School.
First penalty in the match there. Millfield player coming in from the side of the ruck, the referee straight on it, and we will have our first kick to touch. And a nice touch found there.
Gives us a chance to point out some of the wonderful landmarks that are here in Millfield. Actually, you can see in the background a blue hockey pitch, and that's an actual pitch taken from London 2012, one of those blue pitches you saw during the summer in London. They've got one here at Millfield. They've got some fantastic stuff here. The ability for youngsters to learn here at Millfield and learn their sport. In comes the line out. A run of cheers coming in from the home supporters as possession is given back to Millfield.
Just knocked on there at the back foot on. Theo Buffini, the Tonbridge hooker, he's hit 2 from 2 early lineouts, but it just wasn't gathered by scrum half Mike Scott there, so it'll be the first scrum of the match. Millfield put in.
Chance here for Tonbridge as Millfield spill early as well, so the handling at the moment is the key part, and there could be a chance very early doors on this near side. Back out wide to this left hand side. Again, Millfield standing strong, holding up Tonbridge at the moment. And we're not far from the line. Less than 3 minutes played here, and Millfield having to show their defensive qualities early in this second round of the Under-18s School Champions Trophy.
Bit of try-line fever here from Tonbridge. Good defensive discipline here from Millfield, but they're under real pressure now as Tonbridge look to move the ball to the right-hand side. If they can get it to the right winger, he could be in here.
So we was just assisting on that far side. Just some 3 or 4 metres from the line here. Tonbridge trying to put pressure on Millfield School. Really good start for the visitors. This is what they'll need to calm themselves down. Not every venue you go to at this level has got the enthusiastic and noisy home crowd. So we went into touch.
There was a lovely offload out the back door there to Sarawiwa. It didn't look like he could ground the ball, but that all came from the defensive mistake, the knock on at the base of the scrum from the scrum half. Really put in Millfield under pressure. Tonbridge unable to capitalise yet, but this is certainly the areas of the field they want to play this game in. 4 minutes in.
Second round of this competition, the final taking place at Allianz Park, the home of Saracens, of course. That's Wednesday the 26th of November. Each one of these two teams will make their way into the next round. And, what a great experience that'll be to get to that final. Allianz Park, a wonderful venue.
Oh, it certainly is. but a nervy start from both teams. First of all, we saw Tonbridge letting the ball bounce from the kick-off, then their scrum half knocked one on off the back of the line-out, then Cameron Brown, the Millfield scrum half, knocking one on and coughing up possession to Tonbridge. This is of course the first year this competition is in existence, and both of these teams, having spoken to the coaching staff beforehand, really keen to get on well, get on and win it.
A 32-team pilot. It's a one-term schools competition. Of course, the Daily Mail Trophy, something that can go over 2 terms. Here's something for these teams to get their teeth stuck into at a young age. Just a 1 term as well, so it doesn't impede in their schedules later on.
Absolutely, and what a second round draw. 2 top teams facing off here at Millfield. Looks like it's been stolen from the line-out now. Tonbridge driving over, and the ball's coming out. In towards the middle they come. That's a little bit loose as they start to head back to the left-hand side here. It's 2 over, but find a way through, and it's a bit of play from Darren Atkins, the vice-captain. Still Tonbridge, and they think they've scored. The official agrees with them, so first points on the board go to the visitors. Great pressure there and great discipline as well. I said they had try-line fever earlier. Guys were picking it up at the base of the ruck and just trying to barge over the line. Then they moved the ball to the right-hand side. The player was held up over the line, but they moved it swiftly from right to left, stealing that line out from Millfield. Took full advantage of that possession and territory. One of the things that's going to be really important for both teams today, it's an old rugby adage, and it's turning that pressure into points. Tonbridge, first time they ventured into the Millfield 22. They're coming away with 5 points. It could be 7.
And it is.
And it is 7-0 Tonbridge lead.
Wonderfully done. So just around about 6.5 minutes on the clock then. Here at the Gareth Edwards pitch at Millfield School, and the home teams, as you can see on your screen, an outstretched left arm here does the damage for Tonbridge.
He's done well to keep possession of the ball there after being ankle tapped as well. Really positive start from Tonbridge School.
Good bring down there from Ben Ollie, under 16s captain, bright yellow boots in the middle of that Tonbridge outfit as they try and clear their lines.
Good pressure again. Really good chase. Tonbridge certainly started with more energy here. Millfield not able to channel the energy they're getting from this fantastically vocal crowd. But a great barnstorming run there, maybe to get things moving for Millfield.
6th game of the season for 7 of this starting lineup for Millfield. Played 5 games inside September. Would have been 6 without that cancellation from Plymouth, so they got here without a game, and again a little bit scrappy from Tonbridge. The handling errors starting to rack up.
Yeah, they don't really look like they've left the locker room yet, Millfield. But a chance now to impose themselves at the scrum. This is the second scrum of the match where Millfield will have the put in. The first one, remember, it was a mistake from the scrum half, Cameron Brown. The only player in this starting 15 who's not a 6th former. Good steady scrum, in fact. Millfield really getting the better of it.
Exceptionally powerful here as they start to move their way out. Midway through Tonbridge half here, and they're held up on the far side. And exceptional power in that scrum there.
Absolutely. Really making mincemeat of the Tonbridge front row. Quite a late surge as well. But Millfield here into the 22 for the first time.
Comes from Rory Mitchell here. Down and tries to get it back. The official not happy.
Yeah, Tonbridge player diving over. Easy ball really, but they've gone quickly.
Cameron Brown, quick start as they come out to this near side here. The wind playing havoc on and off the field as paperwork goes flying past us. Thunderous challenge as Millfield try and get back this deficit given away as they try to come through on this near side. Just short of 10 minutes of the 35 in this first half. kick down this near touchline, well held, brought down by Darren Atkins, and the next captain comes infield.
Lovely offload from Atkins as well. Usually he plays at 15, but filling in at 10 today. Big things expected from him.
Tucker trying to evade a couple of challenges, offloads, and all of a sudden, Dave, as we talked about before the game started here, he felt that Millfield would probably try and have the upper hand for the majority of this game and put Tonbridge on the back foot since the try. That's simply what it's been. It keeps coming back for Tonbridge.
Well, Buffini, the hooker, has had a fantastic start for Tonbridge. It was him that scored the try. He's had 2 successful line-outs so far completed, and he's a real source of energy for them.
Yeah, so too Sarah Weaver on the other side. You saw him earlier catching up with the kick forward and really putting the pressure on Millfield deep in their own territory.
Well, they say a kick is only as good as its chase, and that was a fantastic chase. So another chance for Millfield now to impose themselves at the scrum.
Anthony Woodthorpe looks on.
Oh, and they've done it again. 2 really powerful scrummaging from the home team.
Infield it works here. It's one spare on this near side, but Close goes alone. Another decision goes Millfield's way, and again, they want to do it quick.
Pressure starting to mount here. They'll really look to get something from this period. Oh, the offload has gone to ground.
Picked up by Mitchell. Brought to ground here. Into the middle it comes. And another loose ball as it comes backwards here. Atkins has to chase back. They need some help on this near side. And it appears getting hold of the ball, Dave, is probably one of the hardest things they can do in the last couple of seconds.
Excellent defensive pressure from Tonbridge, though. First of all, the blitz defence over on the right-hand side as we look at it in the 22. Then the ball's gone loose, it's been hacked forward, and the chase is there. There was the opportunity to gather the ball and rebuild after a few passes for Millfield, but it was the pressure, it was the quick lift from the defence of Tonbridge. And they've won possession again. They've certainly had the strongest start of either team, but that has not stopped the Millfield supporters. Brilliant atmosphere building here.
Yeah, they're not fussed at the 7 deficit just yet. Too early for them to worry. And again, you can see from the close-up here, the pitch and the weather certainly couldn't be in any better condition for this game.
Not at all. And the good firm pitch is being thoroughly enjoyed by the Millfield pack at the moment as they're really imposing themselves at the scrum. Ben Earl at number 8 for Tonbridge tried to pick that up, got himself in a bit of a tangle with his blindside flanker's feet, but the scrum will be reset. We'll go again. 12 minutes gone here, still 7-0 to Tonbridge.
Very often games won and lost in certain areas, and you feel that Millfield will really try and put this to their advantage throughout the course of the game. They appear to be far stronger as they look to push Tonbridge out of touch on this near side. The shrill of the referee's whistle again as a few of the players exchange the odd glance. Rory Mitchell in his 3rd appearance this season for Millfield. Just told to go away by referee Woodthorpe, and Tonbridge will move down this near side. There's a bank of students to the left of this pitch here, as you can see them on your left hand side of your screen. It's just about where the ball has gone out of play here. 13 minutes gone. Millfield nothing, Tonbridge 7 here in the under-18 School Champions Trophy. This live stream hopefully all the way to the final Allianz Park on the 26th of November. The moment advantage Tonbridge as they start to move forward.
It's really strong work here from the forwards. Again, speaking to the coaches earlier, they were very aware that Millfield have a much stronger pack, but that's great driving work from the line out. They made 20 metres easy, and now the chance to move the ball. Great line, he's in under the posts. Attempted a recovering tackle, but that is 12-0. Tonbridge absolutely flying.
Oh, Ben Earl breaks free, and Millfield find themselves on the wrong end of 2 tries inside the first 15 minutes here.
2 forays into the 22 for Tonbridge School so far, and 2 tries. And again, this time it stemmed from great defensive pressure when they were under the cosh themselves in their own 22. 1 to 15, that philosophy we were talking about so far is working, because they are really, really working together as a unit. The conversion successful. Tonbridge School 14, Millfield 0. Dream opening 15 minutes for the away team. Just see the replay here.
Big hole opened up at the back, Millfield, and as you said during the commentary, Dave, a last-ditch effort to try and stop that try.
Well, it's just a classic switch. We've got an outside and an inside runner. The outside runner has run the inside line. He's taken 2 defenders with him. So the fellow who's on the inside line is be able to go a little wide. The gap opens. That's just about made 10 metres, by the way. Well done back by Millfield. It's a traditional move that the kids learn very, very young, but when it's executed well, it can be absolutely devastating.
Adam Hastings in possession there. He's comes from a good background.
It certainly does, yeah. They've got quite the centre partnership, the offspring of Carling and Hastings. England, Scotland and Lions legends. A great line run there by the number 6, Josh Bayliss. Finally a bit of penetrating running from Millfield. Attempt at the offload, it's gone to ground, but the coaches won't mind that. At least the players are trying to implement some of the things they'd be doing in training. Hitting the lines, bursting through the tackles and looking for options. Unfortunately it didn't go to hand this time, but slightly more positive signs for Millfield.
That second try though really did come as a bit of a surprise. For 4 or 5 minutes Millfield had just started to move up and move up and move up, and all of a sudden defensive work was really good from Tonbridge. They're getting down this left hand side and they've got themselves a second try, and that was just as Millfield was starting to work their way back into this game.
Well, I think the Millfield players and the coaching staff and the fans alike would probably call that a sucker punch. However, Tonbridge School are really working at the moment, whether it's in defence or attack. Their attack has been so clinical. As I said before, twice they've been inside the 22, twice they've scored tries. Millfield need to use their possession better. Another successful lineup for the field there. He's hit 4 from 4 so far, and here we see that drive going forward.
Well, they've taken away the numbers but not the quality, and that's, as you said early, Dave, that was the coach's ideas.
Certainly working nicely. Taken in there, the winger comes off his line, but he's been turned over, he's not released the ball. And once again, Millfield look to take the penalty quickly. Hint of a forward pass there, but the referee had his back turned. We play on.
Cameron Brown, the centre of everything here. A good try.
Great feet.
Darren Atkins, the vice captain, being pulled right back. Just needed one more pair of hands somewhere near in there, Dave, as they were coming towards the try line, but a stab, a kick towards the corner. It's overzealous and out on the far side.
That's certainly what the home team need, though. Moments of inspiration from their big players. Atkins there, stepping inside. He's beaten 2 men. Didn't quite have the footwork to get by the fullback. He got himself in a good position, had Elliot Webb.
Kick to touch from Atkins, and referee just pulling that back for a foul during the earlier move.
So hopefully some of the Millfield players, from their perspective, they'll have seen that step inside from the number 10, so they'll be looking inside and outside, hitting lines, looking for the second ball, looking for the offload. And that would have certainly led to a try there, but great work again. Oh, but he was offside. And they've gone quickly again, but the referee not happy this time. You can see the desire in defence, though, from Tonbridge at the moment, just desperate to win the first hit, win the first collision.
They've got to keep their discipline, though, and at the moment they've done that perfectly well. They've, as you said, sucker punched Millfield perfectly well as well here. It's nothing against 14 for Tonbridge School here in this away trip to Millfield School, second round of the Under-18 School Champions Trophy. If you're just joining us, and a good start on 6 minutes. Tonbridge went under the post, and Buffini with the early try. Earl adding the second on 14 minutes to make it 14-0. And yet you'd have to say the majority of the pushing and shoving has come from Millfield.
Once again, Millfield building the pressure there. They'd won 2 penalties inside the 22, but there's been a handling error, a knock-on in amongst the carnage, and this is an opportunity for Tonbridge School to clear their lines now. Important from the Tonbridge viewpoint to either steady the scrum or get this ball out quickly, because Millfield have been dominating in these early exchanges. It's a better scrum from Tonbridge.
Yeah. Kick upfield's not quite going to reach the halfway line on the far side. Coming field here. And start again. Sirens in the background, arresting scenes in front of us. This pile of bodies needs to be cleared up here.
Turnover ball again. Great work in defence from Tonbridge. The collision was good. They won the contact straight away. There was a man in there looking to gather the ball. And they've won possession in midfield once again. The kick wasn't the best from the scrummage, but the defensive lift, the defensive line, relieved all of that pressure from the kick. And now they've got the ball with another opportunity to launch an attack.
Big gusts of wind starting to come across Gareth Edwards' pitch here. You have to wonder if that will affect anything as the game goes on. As I say, the sun starting to set to our right hand side as we look at the pitch. Behind a very picturesque tree-lined pitch here. So Dave, we're talking about possibly the nicest views from a commentary position we've perhaps ever been in.
Absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful place here.
It won't be considered stunning by Millfield for the first 21 minutes though. Trailing, we go into the final 14 of this half.
Good pick up there off his toes from a loose pass from the scrum half.
And Earl's done some damage already in this game. He hands off here to Sarawiwa on the far side. They'll come back in and try and drive through the middle here.
Good handling there from the hooker again. Buffini was in at first receiver, but good pressure this time from Millfield, lifting the line. And the ball's loose and they've gathered it back. Let's see what they can do with it from here.
Great hands there from Bailey Ranson, the captain. Juggled slightly, but kept his nerve, and then giving an opportunity again for Tonbridge. And here it's Adam Hastings with not really anywhere to go, so he goes right across the pitch to the far side, and then just a loose launch behind him, but the official's flag on the far side is up. And Hastings was just given nothing, was he? He was given nowhere to go with that.
No options at all. I mean, he got the ball in quite an unorthodox manner, but there was no one really offering themselves at the moment. No one really offering themselves. No one really wants to carry the ball forward. So another chance here for Tonbridge now. Buffini to a shortened line out. Uncontested by Millfield, and Tonbridge look to get that ball driving forward again, but it's a bit stop-start, so it comes out.
Comes out to Earl.
There's numbers here if they can move it.
Some super strength as Earl. Millfield just hold up Tonbridge, but a little dink forward.
Penalty given for offside, but there was a great little battle there between Millfield hooker Leicester and Tonbridge hooker Buffini. This time Leicester coming out on top. Fantastic tackle, put Buffini on his back. Again, it's a big game of momentum, and just as Tonbridge is starting to get momentum in the match, in the attack, all of a sudden a tackle like that, it just stalls it, you know. It might only be a yard, it might only be a second, but if you can slow the ball down, then that can make all the difference. Unfortunately, there were Millfield players offside, so we'll have the first penalty kick at goal of the match.
I'd like to believe this is Mike Scott. An unsuccessful attempt here.
So he's 2 from 2 for the conversions, but 0 from 1 for the penalties. Still 14-0. 22 dropout taken. Well gathered.
Again, Tonbridge in possession. It's that man Earl again, causing problems, and he bursting through here, and eventually clipped down. And Millfield, all 6s and 7s here, Dave.
Great run from Ben Earl there. Little dink over the top. There's a man chasing it. The 9's in all kinds of trouble, but he recovers well and beats the tackle himself. Great strength from Ben Earl, though. I was about to comment on the stand of the defensive line from Millfield. It was spot on. They had 4 or 5 men looking to make every tackle. Once again, Hastings having to go sideways, but Ben Earl, great strength, beats the tackle and gets his team even further up the pitch. He's having a fantastic first half here. Great physical strength from the Tonbridge number 8.
Another great take from Tonbridge here. Elliot Webb starts to move forward. Neat handoff to Sarawiwa, but he's hit hard, and a toe has done the damage here for Millfield as they've managed to regain possession. They could do with a sustained period of this here, Dave, just to try and stop Tonbridge from growing in confidence. And again, another loose pass, nearly picked up by Tonbridge. And Millfield get themselves to the halfway line. You can hear in the distance, you can hear the Millfield gathering. There's good 200 to 300 of them right around the edges of the pitch here, and that's a fantastic turnout for Millfield School here in this under-18s School Champions Trophy. But at the moment, they're not seeing what they came for, and that is Millfield getting on the score sheet. That's the first task at hand.
Absolutely. Well, Tonbridge had done their job, because we've not heard from the Millfield faithful for a good 5 minutes, but they had a bit of a burst then. Millfield coming forward, more structured play from them, and that's what they need. They just need to build, get their hands on the ball, and not panic about the scoreline. There's still lots of time left in this game, just shy of 26 minutes gone.
Brought out then by Brown. Year 11, and a good run here from Darren Atkins, and the vice-captain will go over and half, with a conversion of course, but hopefully half the deficit here as we start to think about half-time, less than 10 minutes to go. And the official has brought that celebration to an early finish.
He's called it for crossing there.
And you can just see it at the top of your screen there. Left shoulder in the face of one of the defenders, and that stops Vice Captain Atkins adding to the scoreboard. The kick is towards us, and
there was no need for it either, because Atkins had already gone through that gap. That's the second time he's broken the line, and that was just the inspiration that they needed. But the player he ran across, if he'd have just held his hands up and stopped where he was, Atkins was through, but he carried on and he put a shoulder on the defender.
Buffini with the line out here.
That's ill discipline, and it's cost his team 5 points, but still that just shows what Atkins can do.
And Millfield will be looking to get themselves in more positions like that. And at the moment they've got Tonbridge in their own half. And again, the go-to guy is Earl. We were told before the game he had a lot of ball in this, and that's not been disproven. And the cheers of the crowd go up again because the decision has gone their way.
Yeah, holding on at the breakdown. It was a good tackle in midfield from Millfield. And the ball carrier did not release, and now a real opportunity from the line out for Millfield to build some pressure again. They've spent plenty of time in their opponent's 22, but the scoreboard does not reflect that.
You can see here, no release, and the referee was right on the money, right on the scene of the crime, and much to Millfield's delight, they pick up possession. 28 minutes gone here. Easy take at the line out. And breaking off of there is Rory Mitchell. Mitchell in his 3rd appearance of the season. Getting Millfield forward here as they start to spray it out to the left-hand side now. And again, up towards just outside the 5-metre marker. And it's spilled again here. But the decision, once again, goes Millfield's way here, Dave.
Absolutely better, sharper, quicker pass in there from Millfield. There were actually numbers on the outside, but Harry Close hit the line so hard he couldn't get the pass away to the men outside him. Millfield choosing to go for the corner as well. They can obviously smell blood here. They need to get on the score sheet, so perhaps the post was the obvious option. But they want to get over that line with just under half an hour gone here.
They would love a score here before half time. Remember, 35 minutes in this competition per half. Short line out this time. Millfield not far away, but they need a score before half time to change the tact of the team, sort you would imagine.
Great defence again there from Tonbridge, though, forcing the drive into touch. Millfield and put plenty of depth on their back line, so after a few phases they were planning on putting it wide with pace. That'll be interesting to see if they challenge the line-out. They haven't been very often in this first half, but Buffini has been flawless with his arrows. Yep, they put a man up, but it's cleanly taken again by Tonbridge.
So high and hanging, not getting the distance, but spilt here, and a chance as it's kicked on here for Tonbridge on the far side. And well, got back in the end.
Henry Carlin Parkinson has had to put the hammer down there, otherwise it was real trouble. Great pace from him and great composure as well to gather the ball cleanly while he's running at full pace. You never know which way this ball's going to bounce, but once again Millfield have put themselves under pressure.
Just moments ago we're talking about the fact that Millfield would love to get a score right before half time just to really sort of close this up, and the next thing you know, Tonbridge have done exactly what they've done all game, and they've bossed forward, and just nearly they managed to get themselves another chance. Well, picked up here by Millfield. No,
that's a good kick as well. He's got some distance on that.
Webb gets it away. Good hands here from Adam Hastings. This time he does have an option. Darren Atkins, the vice captain again, trying through the middle. Denied a try in this half. And it's hanging on to this, and the referee's happy to let it go.
Yeah, the ball was out, and
seeing
the
more
Millfield player went straight through the middle, but again, the decision has gone Tonbridge's way. So talking about the pressure into points, they had a real opportunity to get on the scoreboard there, and we said they were confident enough to get over the try line. But they opted not to go for the 3 points and instead find themselves under pressure again. Still not on the score sheet. It is 14-0 to Tonbridge.
So of course 35 minutes each half. It's all down to what the referee says after all, so he might be able to tell you it's 35. He may want to play as long as he likes. That's what makes him the referee. Well,
he's actually had a very good game so far.
He's been on the ball, hasn't he? He's not missed a great deal.
It looks like both sets of players have a lot of respect for him as well. He's been quick with his decisions. He hasn't missed a lot at the breakdown.
From the Hertfordshire Society of Referees. Referees in the Midland Division. Both of his assistants are both from Somerset as well. But as Dave was saying there, Anthony Woodthorpe, our referee, pretty much nailing everything so far. And here's Earl, under 16 captain, and this time I was just about to give him lots of praise, and that's what the commentator curse does. And his coach described him as square.
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty fair.
He looks like some athlete. He's got a lot of explosive power. We've seen that as he's been bursting through tackles there. He bursts on the base of the scrum with lots of pace. Looked to release Sarawiwa, but it was as though Sarawiwa wasn't sure whether to carry on with his run down the right or check inside, but it's led to a Millfield line-out that's taken nicely by the number 8.
Bailey Ramson climbs highest, and back ball across field, a little loose, but picked up and avoiding a couple of tackles on this near side. They might get a chance to burst down this line further still. Infield it goes, and it's pushed forward by a combination of Carlin Parkinson and Oliver Buck.
So often at so many levels of rugby we see a loose pass that bounces, cause absolute chaos in the defensive line. Millfield really showing great pace there, and also despite the passing not being great, the handling and the recovery and the sort of speed of thinking very good, looking to get the offloads in. Eventually the ball's gone to ground, it's gone forward, but that is much more positive.
You can see here just behind his target, and that was Darren Atkins.
Well, if Atkins has gathered that, it's try time.
Try time is something Millfield can only dream of at the moment as we eke towards half time. Referee shouts out hold. It's fed in by Mike Scott.
God, the hooker is off his feet there. Real pressure from the Millfield front row, but so far Tonbridge managing to deal with the scrums.
Atkins quick on his feet here, and driving Millfield in to Tonbridge's territory, and they have what you would consider possibly one more chance here. And this is a wonderful couple of hands off here from Josh Bayliss. And a bit of off the ball stuff, but the ball is sprayed out to the left hand side here. A chance for Harry Close. And just short 5 metres here. We approach this 35 minutes first half.
Looking at the back line though, they've got a flanker, a second row, a number 8, a prop. It is all forwards in the backs positions for Millfield at the moment. You've got the hooker taking it on. It's still all the scrum halves options right are all forwards.
Oh, and spilt again, and that's a little bit of the story of Millfield's half.
Adam Hastings there, thinking about the try line, thinking about the pass, thinking about what's happening, everything except the catch. And once again, an opportunity goes begging, but they have been given the penalty for offside. This is right under the posts. Will they use this as an opportunity to just get on the scoreboard?
Well, you'd hope here, or at least you would perhaps think, something on this board might be better than nothing, but long conversations, and I think they're going to go for the something option.
Sensible decision. Right at the beginning, just before Tonbridge scored their first try, I said that they'll be looking to get points from every foray into the opponent's 22. There has been lots and lots of pressure from Millfield, but something has always gone wrong at the vital moment.
One of Millfield's players getting some treatment on the far side. You can just see him on the left-hand side of your screen, underneath the scoreboard they've got here at Millfield. Well, you can see in the middle of the screen, though, these points on the board. Millfield have themselves 3 of them. And right on half-time, Millfield at least trouble the scorers. It's Millfield 3, Tonbridge School 14. We'll take you the replays of all the vital parts of the half here then, Dave. In Millfield School 3, Tonbridge School 14.
So far so good for the away team. They've been far more efficient in every facet of the game. Their defence has been faster, their line speed has been good, their handling has been crisper. Just seen a replay of the first try now.
Well, this is the first one. This took just 6 minutes here, and you can see Buffini darting through and just outstretching that left arm.
It was good work from Buffini. He stepped in off his right foot and he beat the first tackle, but Millfield would be disappointed that happened. He wasn't particularly fast, it wasn't particularly great, but it was strong and it was determined, unlike this try that was really, really well executed. Again, a simple back move, a simple switch, but it was a great line run by the number 8.
Very direct from Ben Earl, and then late in the half, Millfield getting themselves a penalty just to make sure they were on the ball. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes here, but at half-time in the Under-18 Schools Champions Trophy, it's Millfield School 3, Tonbridge School 14. Who's going through to the next round? So again, you're watching the live coverage of the under-18s at School Champions Trophy here, and probably a different half to what I think we were expecting as we were making our way here. Dave, we were talking about Millfield School and perhaps the breed of players that they've got coming through here, the Hastings and the Carlings, of course generational players. We felt that Millfield might come out here quite quickly and be pretty big in the first 10 or 15 minutes. They never got chance really, because every time they got anywhere upfield, the break came and they conceded. And we talked about the philosophy of Tonbridge from the coach early doors. He came up, James Lowes, and talked to us about this whole removing the numbers off the shirts and why he'd done it all, and he said that he wanted every player to be able to play in every position. That's not a bad choice. Just been sharp and snappy, and passes have been going to making tackles. The defensive line has been working well. Very physical, very strong team. Collisions and scrum time. They can really push off. Big observation for you at home. You might be able to see this on your screens, but I know Millfield do this all the time. They're going to kick from right to left in the second half. Interesting, Tonbridge are going to have the sun going down, and it's just about an eye line now. So hopefully that was a tactical thing and not just a mistake from Millfield. Perhaps something they do on a regular basis here. You often see things like that, and the sunshine is going to be in the eyes of Tonbridge throughout the entirety of this second half. At the 35 minutes, they're going to have to look at that bright spear in the sky. But here, at the start of the second half, first 20 seconds has seen Millfield get themselves in position. A big collision from Henry Peck down the centre, just in front of the halfway line. Hands off here to Adam Hastings. He's represented Scotland at the under-18s World Cup in New Zealand.
In the second half, he stepped in at first receiver 3 times. After Darren Atkins took a big carry with one of the first attacks in the second half.
You feel it's important here that Millfield get an early try on the board?
Well, certainly some early possession, some early territory, just to calm them down, because Tonbridge have been very clinical. Darren Atkins there, filling in at 15. That's a position he's more familiar with. Looking for territory with a little dink over the top. That's well gathered. Huge hit. Atkins chasing his own kick on the right-hand side, making a monster hit on the left. And could that be the sort of thing that really inspires his team to give them the kick that they need to get this second half underway?
Sarah Weaver was so concentrated on picking that ball up as it came. As he looked up, he got a face full of Millfield shirt. And that is just what we were saying. Millfield, if they can put some decent pressure on early.
What did I say in the first half? A kick is only as good as its chase, and Atkins did it all himself there, sprinted 60 yards.
Well, we've seen Atkins' pace throughout the first half, and he's just shown us another blistering example. Covers the ground exceptionally quick, and he's got Millfield a line out here on the 22. Gathered neatly, sprayed across here from Cameron Brown, and chances for Atkins once again. He's got a man outside him in Harry Tucker, and couldn't utilise that extra man.
Went for the fancy backdoor offload. If it comes off, it looks spectacular. However, once again, Millfield have coughed up possession inside the 22, and Tonbridge can relieve the pressure temporarily at least.
No, Millfield with possession again here. Bayliss and on the 16s through to this near side. Again, just inside the 22. Pulled back this time for Dixon. It's his third appearance of the season for Millfield. Millfield again. Now out to the right, and again that man Atkins is part of it, and he just can't get that hand off to Tucker. The official has done Millfield a favour here.
Yeah, offside. Tonbridge offside. Judging by the way they've been lining up early on in this second half, Adam Hastings has gone from inside centre to outside half, and Darren Atkins looks to have shifted to outside centre. They're looking to get that ball wide early through the hands and seeing if Atkins can cause damage out wide. He went through the middle twice in the first half. They're opting to go for the posts here.
So Atkins again, and can make this 14-6, and they'll be very aware that that means try conversion something else. There's time on the board for that to all change.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. They've got to keep the scoreboard ticking over here. They spent a lot of time in the Tonbridge School 22 in the first half and weren't able to get anything until the last kick of the half.
And that's good. That's what Millfield need, is Dave saying there. Keep the points ticking. And, whilst they can't get the explosive stuff over the line, at least if they can keep the scoreboard moving, they're always in contention here.
Well, that's the last 2 scores to Millfield. If you take half time out of it, that is 6 points in 3 or so minutes. And all of a sudden it looks as if they're thinking about it a bit more.
And all of a sudden the Millfield fans here having a disco apparently on our top deck. It's quite high up on a wonderful little grandstand. And as I said, some 200 to 300 perhaps here at Millfield to observe, and that's gone through, and a couple of blank looks on faces below us.
That's the last thing Millfield needed. 2 forays into the opposition 22. They come away with 3 points, and then straight from the kick-off, there's confusion between the forwards. They let it bounce, and now they've got to do it all again from deep.
And comes the throw, but they've got it straight back here. Brown feeds it here into Hastings, just over their own 22. And a big drive again here from Bayliss. Hastings again needs a little bit of support here.
Good quick ball though.
Leicester gaining some distance. Some mean tackling coming in.
Absolutely. The tackling isn't the problem at the moment, it's the handling. 3 times the ball has been lost in contact so far for Millfield. And it always comes after something great. You know, it's the old adage, 1 step forward, 1 step back. Really good carry there from Leicester. He burst the tackle, great explosive pace. He made 15 yards. What you really need then is once the tackle's made, for it to be backed up, for the back rowers to get there again, to make quick ball to distribute. They've got plenty of handling options.
Now Theo Buffini is down. He started scoring during this live game and struggling with the left shoulder, as you pointed out in the first half, Dave. He's been excellent.
Absolutely.
And this would be a big casualty for Tonbridge at the moment. You can see him just virtually in the centre of our shot here. There's the coach, that's James Lowe's in the rather smart jacket and comfy trousers.
Buffini epitomises what you call the modern hooker. Gone are the days where the hooker's just an extra prop to push in the scrum. He handles the ball well, he carries it well. More and more hookers in the game these days are real solid athletes, playing a lot more like you'd expect a 7 or a 12 to play. Of course, he scored the first try, showed real determination for that, a good step off his right foot, a good reach for the finish. He's also completed all of his line-out throws successfully. He's up, but he's moving that left shoulder quite gingerly at the moment.
Ginger the word. He himself screamed with delight after scoring the try, which indicates he's one of those players that wants to be involved, wants to be in the thick of the action, and won't want to be leaving the field. He's not at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on Theo Buffini's left shoulder.
Front rowers are a different breed. You've got a man who's just gone down with a shoulder injury, so the first thing he's going to do is back down, put a big collision on it.
Get straight in. Go hard or go home, I believe they say. And again, Millfield spectators, hats off to them. Every song in the songbook is coming out here.
Strong scrum again from Millfield, but Tonbridge holding their ground and able to release the ball up the left-hand side.
So we were decked, but on the far side, Millfield managing to hold up Tonbridge's advances as they eventually reach the halfway line. Millfield it comes, and Buffini showing any ill effects of that collision from a couple of moments ago. As Dave's saying, a different breed, straight back into the action. Here's Earl. Not seen much of him in this second half, and well, that mistake allows Millfield more possession inside Tonbridge's half, and another mistake was left by Leicester. He felt like somebody behind him was reading the game, and he's disappointed with himself again here.
Real let-off there for Tonbridge, because that was a handling error from them in the middle of the park. We've not seen a lot of that, as we said before. Very, very disciplined they've been, but Millfield again unable to capitalise. It was Atkins who took the ball in. He didn't release because the Tonbridge forwards were there looking to grab the ball, looking to steal it, and their very efficient pack has won another penalty for the away team as that ball flies over our head.
Myself and Dave hold our breath as Elliot Webb's kick comes back off the ceiling. It doesn't hit us, all the equipment in front of us, but that's how close to the action we are, right above it virtually, and we're right above Theo Buffini as he takes this line out. And you can see at the bottom of your screen Buffini, and at the top of your screen you can see plenty of movement here from Tonbridge. It does the job.
Yeah, short line out, very efficient, and they're looking to get that drive going again straight away. 5, 6 metres they make, 7 metres. Really, really strong work from the Tonbridge pack.
Well, early doors we saw Millfield showing some real strength, but here Tonbridge got their own ideas, and how far can they go? Over the 22 is the answer, so great game there, Dave.
Yeah, really, really efficient work, working as a team, every player. The team more than the sum of its parts, but strong tackling now in midfield from Millfield.
Crossover there from Webb to Earl didn't quite have the desired effect, and Hastings with a very acrobatic steal.
Read that play beautifully and stole in to grab the ball. Now it's Millfield can come forward, but stolen back. Real to-ing and fro-ing, great individual skill from these players at the breakdown.
It is Tonbridge here, midway inside Millfield's half. Burst through the centre, good tackle to hold up. And again, Tonbridge just happy to regather their thoughts, regroup.
Yeah, the slow ball won't help them at all. Millfield have done well to slow it down. They've got a good defensive line. So Tonbridge are going to have to do it the hard way. Lost forward, Millfield back in possession.
McMeekan, trying the direct approach here. It's Darren Atkins who leaves the rest for dust here. He takes the touchdown, and that means we are now in for a bit of a grandstand finish. 40 or so minutes gone here on the scoreboard.
Unbelievable footwork from Atkins. He's come in, they've changed his position. He's not got the pressure of being first receiver now. He showed in the first half electric pace and great footwork. He picked the ball up then inside his own half. 3 or 4 steps. He's got great vision. He spotted the gap. He's through. The fullback for Tonbridge may as well have sat down because he didn't stand a chance of catching him. Another change of position, and he is underneath the post. Millfield right back in this now.
He finally gets what he deserved in the first half. One of his teammates cost him a try in the first half. Here in the second, he's done it all himself. A wonderful, wonderful burst of speed here from Darren Atkins, and the vice-captain at the moment is steadying the ship on his own. Kicking and try scoring has brought Millfield to within just 1 here in this second round of the Under-18 School Champions Trophy.
All of a sudden they're thinking about it more. I think it was really important for them to take that penalty at the post with the last kick of the half. They needed to get on the board, then they keep the scoreboard ticking over with the next penalty, then one moment of magic from Atkins that I'm sure they know he's got in every match. Really, it's difficult to pick a favourite for this match now.
Well, we said towards the back end of that first half that this Millfield home support had gone a little bit quiet and that Tonbridge had done the job on them. Well, now, good luck keeping them quiet for the rest of this game. Long kick here from Millfield, and now Sarawiwa just took his time. Webb with the kick, if he can find touch, he can.
Nicely done there, actually. Tonbridge need to start doing what they did in the first half, which was good pressure, good completion, keeping those passes going to hand, quick ball and creating space. Millfield have been able to shut that down. They slowed the ball down in the midfield, and eventually that led to the mistake that meant that Atkins could fly through. Tonbridge need to compose themselves now and use that team ethic that worked so well for them in the first 35 minutes.
This is where at this level now you start to wonder about the fitness levels of the two. Still early in the season as well, so not many of them been back solidly training as hard, but in it comes, and that's given away. And Millfield will be disappointed with that. Again, sends the crowd a little bit quieter here as Tonbridge get themselves into Millfield's half on the far side. Fed back, and a few stumbly fingers, but they'll keep on going, Tonbridge. Earl again, and he can burst through, there could be trouble, and he has. He's evaded one, he evades a second, but it's back in numbers here, Millfield, and they will pull him down just inside their own 22. Another strong young player.
No options though, all he needed was one back to take a gamble, to hit the line on either shoulder, one shout, pop up to the left or right, and they were in. But still, good ball in a good position here for Tonbridge School.
Three players on this near side for Tonbridge screaming for him. I think Millfield have actually stolen it back, yeah. And now they can break. There is numbers. There is numbers. Bouncing off one here. And eventually, the buck is brought to a halt. Kick forward here from Hastings. For the chasers, Webb has done wonderfully well. And again, we talked about sunlight might be an issue. Fakes the kick as Webb doesn't get him too much further forward. They keep possession here.
Again, good pressure from Millfield. Player driven out on the far side. They're off the ball, but the referees decided to let it go. Slower ball from Tonbridge, it's knocked on, and once again Millfield, they're really impressive. It's them now that are putting the defensive pressure on. Their line has been excellent. Tonbridge sat a little bit shallower in the second half, and that defensive pressure from Millfield is leading to mistakes. Just 1 point in it now, remember. Millfield 13, Tonbridge School 14. The knock-on on the Tonbridge 10-metre line, which will mean that Millfield have the put-in at the scrum on the 10-metre line.
So we just lost our clock here. We'll give you the exact time in a couple of moments.
Just have a look at the Millfield captain, Bailey Rawson there, the number 8. He's going round his pack, he's geeing them all up. A little slap on the face, a little pat on the shoulders. He knows that his pack have got the physical beating of Tonbridge, and at the moment in the second half, that is the difference between the two teams. All the momentum was with Tonbridge in the first half, the quick play putting Millfield on the back foot. At the moment, Millfield are slowing Tonbridge down, forcing panic, forcing mistakes. Hence the reason they've got 10 unanswered points.
So we somewhere around the 48-minute mark here. Millfield 13, Tonbridge 14. And again, only one person on this pitch controls the time. That's the man in yellow here, Anthony Woodthorpe. We talked about how good a game he's had in this late stages. How many more tries will he be indicating? Because Millfield certainly needs something. They've got that deficit back, 14-0 down, and that late kick in the first half at least put them something on the board. The second half has been more of the Atkins show than anything. And he's going to go for something from a distance. Well, he's not afraid of anything, is he?
Not at all. Could have been a decent option there. It was better defence from Tonbridge. They kept the line strong. They put the pressure on at the breakdown. Millfield not really with any options left or right, going standing quite shallow themselves. So they thought, why not let the man of the moment have a crack at the drop goal? But he didn't catch it at all. So the referee's reaching for his pocket here.
We've got a yellow card here. And the face of this game has just changed. one of Tonbridge's players. He's heading for the side.
I'm not entirely sure what it was for, but there was a bit of a scuffle at the breakdown. Saw a few agitated players. What this has given is Millfield the chance to take the lead here from a very kickable penalty.
So this is a real opportunity for Millfield, and for the first time this afternoon the home team lead, and some of the players underneath us are urging the home spectators to keep the noise levels high, and all of a sudden Dave Atkins is just not on his own, and that's what the scoreboard will tell you, but Atkins has just chipped away at it, and all of a sudden Tonbridge from a 14-0 lead down a player.
Well, it was a moment of madness from James Gibson. He came on as a substitute for Fred Johnson, and now he's left his team really up against it as the sun goes down here at Millfield. His team down to 14 players for the next 10 minutes, and now 2 points behind as well.
Launched forward, takes a bouncing out here.
Fantastic kick, and you can almost see the momentum, the referee bringing it back.
He marks out his area for a line out here.
Just going to foul on the kick, so the line out will be taken where the ball landed as opposed to where it was kicked. Now a real chance for Tonbridge here because there was a visible momentum shift.
The sunlight behind Millfield's try line is just about gone, to that vision effect is out for them here. Tonbridge needs something. 16-14 down.
Once again, great efficiency in that driving ball. They've made 10 metres easily.
Infield it comes, looking for a bursting rather slip at the most inopportune time.
It was good defensive drift from Millfield though.
Meakin trying to go through the middle, and it's spilled here, and another chance for Millfield. If they can just put one more score on the board, you feel like they might just have Tonbridge's heads going in the right direction.
Nice dummy there, setting up the play. Hastings
Barging through here.
Barnstorming run from Isbister.
Like a steamroller coming through was Isbister there. Felt that up here. As Millfield keep calm. Oh, now that's interesting. Atkins has pulled up here. He's pulled something in his calf or back of the leg at least. He's trying to stretch it out. He went straight to the deck. He's off screen at the moment. Ball with Tonbridge still here, and he's up, but certainly not moving as swiftly as we've seen Darren Atkins in this half. Far side of the field, Tonbridge, as the clock nears the hour. Cometh the hour, hopefully from a Tonbridge perspective will cometh the man to try and get them back in front here, and it's a spill pass and a real big chance for Millfield here. Ken Atkins really able to join in. He's just sort of holding off. He's trying to get involved, and he's got it now on this near side. He's got two. The effects of that, again another attempt to behind the back pass, and again at the wrong moment.
Yeah, well worked defence from Tonbridge there. Millfield actually had a two-man overlap, but the Tonbridge defence stood them up and then committed the man in the tackle, forcing the knock on.
He stayed down again here as Atkins, the vice captain, a couple of representatives under 16s for England a couple of years ago. He's down, and I don't believe it's cramp. It's
they were stretching it out for cramp, but then the physio came in, and as soon as he grabbed it, he really flinched with pain there. It's the left calf that the physio's giving a good going over there.
Well, at this late stage, this is not the chance Well, not the thing they want to do is lose their player who has rescued them here somewhat, Millfield. Atkins.
Then you concentrate on the So this break in play here could really play into Tonbridge's hand because they're under the cosh. All of the things they did well in the first half, they've not been able to do quite so well in the second half. All of a sudden, handling errors have crept in. Their defence hasn't been as intense. Is that a result of the Millfield pressure, or is that a result of fatigue? It's always difficult to tell because we're not inside those players' minds, but this break in play could do them the world of good. Time to regroup because they need something to happen. For the first time in this match, they need a score if they're going to get back ahead and progress in this competition.
So he's up. Saw him below our Tonbridge position. A little wince of pain from Darren Atkins. As we go into the scrum here, Dave.
Remember, Tonbridge a man down in the scrum, an area of the game where they were struggling already. Good early pressure from Millfield. As soon as the players meet, as soon as the impact has occurred, they are driving forward, really looking to disrupt, should I say.
Atkins has now left the field. He's walking around the outside. That is his race run, and he's certainly done some running in this one. It's running and kicking that has done the damage for Millfield against Tonbridge.
Great drive from Millfield, and they turned the ball over. Hastings stepping inside. The first receiver, we're at number 12, but Tonbridge have turned that ball over. And now it's their turn. They've got numbers if they can get the ball out. It was a bit too ambitious with the dummy.
Aston Lester with a big tackle there for Millfield on this near side. Couldn't quite get them into touch.
Penalty to Tonbridge though, and a chance to clear the lines. Up comes Webb to kick the ball into touch. Millfield players waving up towards the stands to...
He's managed to find touch. It was, for a moment, it was curling back towards the pitch, and we nearly grabbed it actually. Didn't come far in front of our Tonbridge position. But,
I was about to say it was Millfield players waving towards the stand to get the crowd going for them, and all of a sudden I was distracted because Webb completely mishit that clearance, but he got away with it. And now Buffini is waiting for the ball.
And they're going for this line out. One of them's realised they've not fetched the ball yet, so here it comes. Chance for Theo Buffini, who doesn't seem to be feeling any of the effects of that shoulder injury that give us a pause in the game early doors in this second half.
Absolutely not. Another shortened line out from Tonbridge. 4 men this time. Another clean take.
Earl now trying to burst through the middle. 3 Millfield shirts gather, and they get the decision their way as well. Earl not releasing it in the time that referee Woodthorpe liked.
He's hit the line really hard then, but again, no support runners, no one coming in to give him an option. He had no choice other than to hold on to it, otherwise it's going to be turnover ball. His problem is he's just a little bit quicker than everyone else.
Just around about 10 minutes to go. Remember, referee Woodthorpe controls the time, and it's something that Tonbridge are going to run out of sometime soon. We give the clock a bit of an adjustment, the officials on the last injury, giving us 15 minutes left at that point, so that's where we are at the moment. Good hands then from Cameron Brown. You feel if Millfield can get one more try, it's just about all she wrote here. Leicester, and a chance now, and this is the very quick Felix Sarawiwa, but he's been held up.
The replacement scrum half doing a great job to close him down, because if it was a foot race, you'd have to have backed the Tonbridge man.
Buffini helping his team get some yardage here. Webb taking over from him. You can feel it even around here, just in the second round of this competition, what it means to some of the people. But you can feel a little bit of tension in the spectator area here. Certainly on the sidelines, it's not enough to write it off here for Millfield just yet. Into the final 10 then. And the referee is going to bring us back. It's gone Millfield's way once again. And again, that big cheer from the home spectators goes up.
Those mistakes creeping in again. The ball has gone forward, and it'll be a Millfield scrum. Another fantastic position. Cameron Brown, the man who started at scrum half, he's switched out to outside centre, having replaced Atkins.
Not only do they have a good standing on the rugby field here, Hastings and Carling, as we talked about earlier, the offspring of Gavin and Will. It's a school that's had a representative at an Olympic Games since 1956. How's that for you?
Did you watch that one?
I'm just a bit too young for that, but Olympic representatives in 1956. There you go. How many schools around the country can boast those sorts of accolades? Here, Millfield are eking their way to the next round of this, a game that will take them on. The 4 knockout rounds ending in a wonderful opportunity for these youngsters to experience playing at Allianz Park, a fantastic venue chosen as the place for the final, Wednesday the 26th of November. Clear your schedule in your calendar and watch some of this country's finest talent make their way into the final of the under-18s at School Champions Trophy. Here though, Gareth Edwards' pitch at Millfield School, we don't have an answer. A couple of players now, we talked about this at the beginning of the second half actually. We said, wonder if fitness and stamina would come into this, and a couple of episodes of cramp is starting to justify that.
Yeah, we have a man down now, but it has been a really intense game from both sides really. The physicality of Millfield and the pace of Tonbridge. Millfield, a much physically bigger team than Tonbridge, and actually that was something that the Tonbridge coaching staff pointed out before the match. However, the Tonbridge units work particularly well. The way they've driven from line out has been exceptionally impressive.
Another delay in this second half. We'll have played about 3 hours, I think, by my maths, although my maths are terrible, but we're certainly extending this second half. And so a game that was 14-0 going into the dying moments of the first half. Tonbridge surprised on a few occasions Millfield and perhaps caught them napping here in this second round tie. Just before half time, Atkins put some points on the board, and that was the inspiration going into the second half. It was then the Atkins show at the start of this second half. He kicked and scored tries to get his team in front. He's since left the field at 16-14. He hasn't proven a big loss just yet, but certainly Tonbridge, despite seeing a yellow card, are not out of this just yet.
What that first half proved was the first challenge Millfield have had all season. I mean, we look at their results. They beat Warwick School 31-12, then hammered RGS High Wycombe 67-7, and in their most recent match, after a week off, they beat Bryanston 40-0. So for a team to come out and just go at them on their own patch like Tonbridge School have.
Well, it says how good a team is. We talked to one of the members of staff here as bursting through goes Rory Mitchell. Warwick School game when they won 31-12, they described it as a poor game for themselves, and if you can still get a victory of 31-12, then when you're playing badly, that's not too shabby at all. Here, possession around about the 22, moving it infield and asking the big fella to go forward through the middle. He's just spilled it somewhat, and the referee has seen the knock on, and giving possession away isn't part of the plan at this late stage.
At the end of the first half, they had a deep lying, what looked like an attacking back line, but it was props, it was second rows, it was flankers again. You've got Hastings at outside half doing a beautiful pass off his left hand. He's missing 2 or 3 players out, and you've got a prop taking it on. What you want is one of the centres, one of the wingers in off their line, hitting hard lines, really trying to trouble the Tonbridge defence with pace as opposed to power. As it happens, you've got Henry Peck, he brings the ball in, he makes a great collision, but then he loses it. And once again, Millfield cough up the ball. The clock is ticking here. Tonbridge need to make something happen. They need some territory. Whenever they've had territory, they've managed to convert that into points, and one penalty, one drop goal would do it. This is so beautifully poised as the ball is cleared up the pitch. One for Buck to field, and he goes inside. Great handoff, beats the first man, but it's the Tonbridge defence who are there first.
Just over 22 into the hands here of the youngster, Callum Brown. And Brown feeling the force of the Tonbridge pack, shoving from Buffini. A long kick, and that will do Millfield no harm whatsoever.
Yeah, Hastings playing the territory game very well there.
Back it comes. Well, that's beautiful. Unorthodox.
The crowd loves it too.
The crowd like it, and it worked a treat. And then a wonderful kick as well. Party piece, if you like.
Delightfully done. Millfield in the first half were guilty of not playing tactically well, not playing tactically smart. Now they're doing it. They know they've got the lead. They know the clock is ticking down, so they just want to play the match in the Tonbridge half. If Tonbridge are going to score, they're going to have to do it the hard way.
A couple of high fives from a few of the Millfield players a moment ago, just below us, and perhaps not complacency.
Seeing a replay there of that lovely touch.
If you're wearing orange boots, you're allowed to go do this. Look at this. Oh,
if you're wearing orange boots, it has to be good.
That's true. And from the line-out, the scrum will go Millfield's way. So again, that clock is now against Tonbridge Wells. It was an enemy of theirs as he got towards the end of the first half. They were desperate to get in without conceding. The catalyst for this comeback was those few points at the end of the first half. Now the clock is their enemy again because it's ticking away with them trailing. A different feeling.
First mistake at the line out by Buffini. The throw not straight. He's actually switched to prop for this scrum.
And the referee steps in to sort something out. Again, we've had a few delays in this. Hopefully you've not got anywhere to go anytime soon. And why would you want to take your eyes off the action here? It's been a good game between two teams who I imagine will be producing some stars of the future here.
It's a shame to lose one of them so early in the competition, actually. Better scrum from Tonbridge.
Dink over the top towards the far side, and it's bounced somewhat fortuitously for Tonbridge Wells off the shoulder, and they'll have a chance to get away from their own try line, and the kick's been stopped here, and well, they've been forced back of Tonbridge as we start to think about the final couple of minutes here, Dave.
Yeah, good pressure at the breakdown there from Millfield. Tonbridge all of a sudden seem to have lost their heads. The composure that they looked so confident with the first half. It was a good charge now, good pressure again. Now Webb needs a really good kick here. Chooses to go long and finds a good touch.
Sent the ball spiralling out of play on the far side, and his kick not only finds touch, but ran away from the Millfield player, so he couldn't get an early start as well, and that's the benefit of not having an advertising board, I suppose, on that far side.
I'm interested to see what Tonbridge do here. They've not been challenging the Millfield line-out, but territory is really important. If they can nick this, if they can turn the ball over and build one final period of pressure, then that could stand them in good stead.
Line-out for Millfield here. Final minute or so
really
to try and hang on. It was all taken. Chance for Hastings, who's fed off here to his near side, and the bursting run might just give Millfield one more score. Great run there from Carling Parkinson, and Hastings comes to help him, and they'll get the decision here from the referee, and they edge closer to the third round of this under-18 school champions trophy.
Lovely line from Carling Parkinson. First time we've really got to see him open his legs, but he took a good ball. Beat the man inside, didn't even need to throw a dummy, just ran a really solid line. He was brought down. Tonbridge tacklers, they were tired, they were off their feet looking for the turnover, and Millfield have played these last few minutes with a narrow lead absolutely beautifully.
Well, both teams will turn their attention to the Daily Mail trophy. Millfield have got a friendly to play as well. But only one can advance here. And another ball out there to Carling Parkinson. It's dropped by him on the far side. Again, the ref's whistle shrills. We haven't long left here. Tonbridge, one more opportunity, you feel?
Yeah, 2 knock-ons. The referee going with the first one. So it'll be a Tonbridge put-in. And this Millfield defence has been absolutely resolute in the second half.
Well, they've been as strong as their supporters have off the field throughout the entirety of this game. We approach the 70th minute. We approach the end of the second half. It's all down to the referee from here. At the moment, it's still with Tonbridge. Here's Earl. Has he got one more big run left inside him? There's the handoff to Webb. Not far from the halfway line. They come to their right. Passing through a small gap. Held up. And that's Hampson trying to burst through. And infield, just about hanging on to it. The last thing they want now is to give possession away cheaply.
Need to just go through the phases and be patient. That's the key for Tonbridge now. But that's great defence there. It was Carling Parkinson again. Millfield winning these collisions, but Tonbridge presenting the ball well. They are proving patient.
And I think he spilt that. He has.
There it was, the commentator's curse.
Well, you've got it. And you brought it out right at the wrong time if you're a Tonbridge school fan. Just getting themselves into Millfield's territory. They were progressing nicely in stops and starts. And again, we await the official to bring this one to its closure.
It's difficult when you know you've got so far to go for the try line. You need a score. You just think, can we eke forward? Can we eke forward? Can we give ourselves a drop goal opportunity? Anything to win this match, but it's soul destroying when hit after hit you're getting knocked back. You're not making any ground. As we have another lovely kick forward from Hastings, who since stepping in at outside half has controlled the pace of the game really, really nicely and allowed the rest of the team to flourish.
Fancy footwork and clever thinking from Hastings, equally here from Earl as he bursts through. The England under-16s captain trying to give his team one last chance here. Still our referee plays on. We have had a few stoppages in this half. It's caused chaos with the timing sweep, I can tell you that. And Millfield come away with it again here. They will just want to see the game out. A knock on. In fact, that is it. We've come here to Millfield School, the Gareth Edwards pitch, and just see what it means to progress to the third round. The players on the field, some of them on the deck, and the ones in the black and white hoops are the ones from Tonbridge School. They will not get the chance to feature at Allianz Park on Wednesday the 26th of November. It started so well for them, 14-0 up away, and a very vocal and well-supported Millfield School here. At 14-0, we were edging towards half-time. 3 points, valuable points in the end, at just before half-time from Atkins. And in the second half, the vice-captain really stepped up to the plate. He took his team from 14-3 down to 16-14 up. He left the field injured, but the rest of his teammates will leave the field with a place in the third round. So Dave, a good start from Tonbridge, and certainly one of their key players in the first half, Theo Buffini. You see him here barging off one. In fact, that's Atkins, and then he just seems to stretch out an arm as in comes Carling Parkinson. Couldn't do enough.
Well, that try pretty much sums up him and his team at the beginning. They were determined, they were sharp, they were winning all the 50-50s. If there was a collision to be won, then it was Tonbridge that were winning it. We're just having a look at the second try here. It was a good take at first receiver, a couple of great lines run. They took Millfield defenders with them, and the gap just opened up for the number 8, Ben Earl. And at that stage of the game, there was only really one team in this. Tonbridge were the first to everything. As we said, it was the very first time Millfield have been challenged this season. As we have a look at the...
If you want to see some quality, watch this. He's just gone and gone and gone, and you can see just in the foreground there, the head down from the Tonbridge player, because there was just no stopping him. He opened the legs up, he put the engine on, and he was away.
What was brilliant about that is the vision. As soon as he got the ball, sometimes these players, they just see everything in slow motion. They know the movements that the defenders are going to make. They know the lines that they have to hit. There were 15 players in black and white in his way there, but he did not even consider any of them. He saw a gap, he went for it, and he had the pace and the class to finish it off. What Millfield did exceptionally well, when it looked like they were down and out, is they controlled the game. We thought from the first penalty they had at the 22 towards the end of the first half that they perhaps should have kicked that. They didn't. The second one, they did. And really, you have to see that as the turning point in the match.
Well, here in Somerset, here at Millfield School, two wonderful teams have put on a display here that probably you could argue equally deserved either of the teams to get through to the final of this under-18s at school champions trophy. Only one can be the victor, of course, and that on this occasion was the home team. They had to come from behind to do it. It's Millfield School 16, Tonbridge School 14. From myself, Alan Martin, Dave Rogers. Enjoy the rest of the coverage of the under-18 school champions trophy as we make our way towards Allianz Park.